I hope you got your popcorn ready because tonight we are going to be talking to the one and only Black Atheist Rants. That's right. The boy Bar is in the house and it's coming up right now on Black Freethinkers.
Try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody and stained.
And y'all know I hit the wrong video. What's up? What's up, man? Yeah, it's one of the intros.
I liked it.
Hey, man, we got Black Atheist Rants in the house. Yes. One time for the kids.
Hardest man in show business to find.
Yeah, seriously. And the one and only Maya Adkisson, of course.
Yeah, I know me.
Where'd you go? Why? What happened to you, man?
Yeah.
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Man, work got heavy. Man. No. I don't know. I just procrastinating, really. Like you said you're gonna come home and do a video. By the time you get through with everything else, you never get to it, man. And it's just like it went on for so long. And I finally just said, you know what? Forget what's going on. Forget where I'm at. When I sit in this chair, I'm pressing the red button. That's what I call it, the red button. And
and then you just got to do it. You just got to go live and to do it.
And you just got to go live and just do it. Don't be thinking too much because that's what's gonna make you not. Like, it's gonna feel like it ain't the right time, but you just got to do it.
Wow. Now, talk to us about the music because you've been in the studio too, working on the project.
So actually, I just actually dropped a song on YouTube on the alleged first New Year's day. I dropped a song on YouTube New Year's Day, but that's just like a little, it's like a jab. But I am working on a mixtape. No, I don't want to say a mixtape. I'm really working on two different albums. It's one that's mine by myself with like it's gonna have features, and then the other one is like it's me and somebody else. Like we rapping together on every song.
Okay. So one's a duo project and the other is solo.
Because other atheists, I guess atheist rappers, which we're gonna call them, like they be want to get on songs. I'm like, man, we can get on songs, and they'll send a beat, and I'm like, I got a beat too, and then next thing you know, we done sent 5 beats. We're like, look, we might as well just make it a mixtape.
Wow,
that's how me and Bladen did it. Cause we were saying for the live about the first Juneteenth stream. That's when I met Bladen, and I actually sent him. He was like he know how to rap and he wanted to get into it, and I actually sent him my first song, which is actually his first song too. And it's like me sending him it's called Adam and Eve. Me sending him that song and him doing that feature. He done dropped, I think, 2 solo albums of his own.
Wow.
And he done did 2 mixtapes with me, just off of me, like pushing the button. Yeah.
So he's talking about Blatant Atheist, who used to be pretty regular on YouTube, but it sounds like he's yeah.
But we still keep it. I talked to him last week. We still gonna do our thing. Cause I was like, man, you just can't not rap with me no more. We know we brothers now. so
he's still doing the music, but he's not doing the shows.
Shoot, I sent him a beat last. Hey, look, and we cooking something up now.
Can't wait.
This actually, since I've been knowing him, 2024 was the first year we didn't drop nothing.
Wow. Well, yeah, then 2025, y'all got to come back strong.
See, I sent him that message with the double face emoji. I'm like, man, look, it's time now. Because just to be petty, we drop all our stuff around either Halloween or Christmas. Literally, both times we dropped it. We just being petty, just
yeah.
Just
to catch the energy.
Yeah, to get in the spirit.
No, that's very you actually.
Yeah, just to get in the spirit of things.
So tell us a little bit, for those that don't know, what is the origin of the Black Atheist Rants channel?
And the origin of the Black Atheist Rants channel, man. So this how it went. When I first, I didn't deconvert. It was like instant, because like when I first became an atheist, basically I tell everybody the same story. I was going to a Christian college, and it was required to take a religious studies course. Just you had to take something, you know. You got to take something. And the problem was, I was taking the religious studies course, talking about the Bible and reading through it and stuff in the morning, and then I was taking like a philosophy course in the evening time, and that did not go well for my religious beliefs, because that professor, she was like, I guess she saw it like in me, like, you one of them people that ask a lot of questions, and you want to know, when you into digging deeper. So she started like pulling me to the side after class and stuff, just like bringing it up, like, hey, look, check this book out, or like, check this video. And so I started like diving into this stuff. Now, mind you, at this point, I had never heard about no atheist, no free thinker, no agnostic, none of that. I ain't never heard about none of this stuff. I had never known people talk and say stuff like God is dead and questioning religious beliefs and this philosophical. I had never heard about
you were full on Christian at that point?
When I said I had milk behind the ears, I'm new to this. It's crazy, because people be telling me like I wasn't a true believer. How I wasn't? That's all I was. We was going to church every day of the week. So it's like, up until that point, and I'm in my 20s and ain't never heard the word atheist. I didn't even know you could disbelieve in this stuff. It was like full-blown, full-fledged, 100% Christianity. That's all we knew. That's all we was about. And man, that course and that professor and what she put me on to, it really challenged what I was believing in. And then I'm gonna tell you how the channel got started. I had found this video on YouTube, and I like to go to the comments and read the comments while I'm watching any video I'm watching. And so in the comments, there was this dude arguing, and he was like going back and forth. It was like multiple threads. He going back and forth with all the Christians in the comment section. And I swear to y'all, I screenshotted every last one of his comments. I think it's still in my Google Photos. I screenshot every last one of his responses to them, and I kind of took what he was saying and started doing my own side research on it and stuff. And
what was he saying?
He was just like responding back to like, oh, it's proof of God. And he was like, no, it ain't no proof of God. And like, Jesus Christ, maybe, such and such XYZ, like all the arguments,
the mythicism and stuff.
I just never heard about all this stuff. So it's like, I looked into it, and it brought me to like the atheist experience, because I was trying to find like debates and people actually like going back and forth on it.
Okay. Yeah.
So boom, this where the channel came in at. I get to the atheist experience. I'm watching Matt Dillahunty and I think her name was Tracy and all them, the old cast.
Yeah.
I'm watching the old cast. They answering the call, and the callers sound just like me. And they answering all my questions. I'm like, man, this is amazing. Then it got to the point, I'm like, damn, like, black folks don't do this. So shit. Now I have been watching the atheist experience for like 2-3 weeks. I wasn't even a Christian on my house. I'm full-fledged atheist day one. As soon as I found out it might have been wrong, I dropped. So 2 weeks in, I'm like, damn, I never even thought to look up no black atheists, nothing like that. But 2 weeks in, I'm like, you know what? I go on YouTube and type in black atheists. Lo and behold, motherfucking Matt Dillahunty come back up. So I was like, damn, black folk don't
do this, yeah.
And maybe my algorithm or something just went on point with like black atheists, but I ain't see none. It was literally like him, and it was like a couple like videos of people like black atheists. I guess they getting on stage and like giving a speech or something, but it wasn't like
it wasn't like a channel. Yeah, it was like they was at an event giving a talk or being interviewed on TV or something.
I forget the one guy's name, but there was a guy that they had like in the old days when Tracy was there, and he would he left with Tracy though
with the glasses.
Big guy with the glasses.
I know
I forget his name, but yeah, like he was. until Mandisa, like he was the only Black atheist I'd ever seen on screen. And, you know, I was like, man, I wish when I finally got to meet her, like we were on screen stream, it was so funny because it was at it was Skeptic Haven. Was when I first got to see her. And we were in it was a stream promoting something for the channel. And it was just me and her going back and forth. And Oz was there. He was supposed to be like conducting the interview. And we're just like, okay, we know you're there, but we got like 20 minutes together. And we just wouldn't shut up. But I told her, I was like, man, I just want to shake your hand because I was really about to. I came to the
Phil was the guy's name. Phil Sessions. Thanks, Cam.
Yes, that guy. I came to the skeptic community, not the atheist community. I found AXP when I was just looking at, like, it was kind of one of those questions, like, how do atheists get their morals? Like, what are they thinking? But I was about to leave all that alone because I'm not a debate bro. I don't care about like all that stuff. It didn't feel like really a place for me. And then I saw Mandisa and I'm like, this is a powerful woman. And I'm like, okay, let me see what else the community has. I'm like, man, sparse. And Jay, you have no idea how happy I was to find you.
Wow, same. Yeah.
But I mean, it's just there's so few of us. And kind of getting back to Bar's point, it's just like, yeah, there's not, you know, one of the reasons I started making content in the community, it's multifaceted, but one of them was for the representation, because I knew how much that meant to me. Because, you know, for me, I wasn't going to leave and go back to, you know, Catholicism, but that's not true for all people who leave the community. So I think that, and it's hard. I think it's really hard for cishet white men to live in a world where everything is centered around them, to understand what it's like to not be centralized, and what that feels like from the perspective of a minority or a woman. So, yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm going to stop filibustering.
No, but that's still, I was going to say, so what's because that's the conversation we should be having, is what is the importance of representation? Because I think for a lot of people in the community, they really don't get it. And I do think they think that it's like some sort of affirmative action initiative. Like they look around and they say, yeah, ideally, you know, we'd have some diversity and, you know, we'd have some women and some people of color and we'd have some LGBTQ people and people from different religions and stuff. And I still think it's like, I think they think that that's a value and like we're supposed to have it. But I think for me, it's like when you don't have it, there's something critically missing. And I think those of us that are in this space are just beginning to be able to articulate what the consequences are of us not being in these spaces.
Yeah. Cause like it's really not, like, for me at this time, I'm like 21, 22, and I just want somebody like me that understand where I'm at with it to like talk to. I ain't had nobody. It wasn't a soul. Everybody my age, religious. Here, everybody I then came in contact with, religious. I ain't never, still to this day, I ain't met no atheists in person. For real. Like that was like how I was at the time, like hungry for the answers and trying to falsify my beliefs. Don't nobody do that shit. Especially not. You talking about trying to scrutinize what you have held as truth for so long. Don't nobody do that here. It's you know, it's dogma, it's dogmatic, it's indoctrination. This is the only way. Ain't no other option. And you know, like I just wanted somewhere where I could feel like I'm a person that they, you know, like I'm part of the family. I want to, you know, like
yeah.
And my channel, I'm just like, I just wanted a family. I want somewhere where people like me can come. You ain't gotta have no PhD. You ain't gotta be no biblical scholar to just ask questions and come rap with your folks. It wasn't none of that. It wasn't none of that going on. Y'all, I kid you not. When I first started going live, we was listen. This how like backed up it was on this. We was going live 8 hours every night. Literally, just talking, no debate.
I had a phase like
Man,
that with the all day marathon streams. I remember those days.
And I kid you not.
Oh my goodness.
We wasn't even debating. I'm on there. We on there making jokes, kicking it, talking. Cause you don't really get to do that with folks. Like it ain't no atheists, man.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, it just was nice to have people to talk to that's like they have the same disrespect for evil as you do. That's nice. Because it's one thing like you cool with somebody, but you know deep down they a bigot. Or deep down when the push comes to shove, they'll defend slavery behind you. Man, no, man.
Yeah.
I need some people. I need some people that I know they're gonna be on the front line when evil is present, and I want to be cool with them. I want to, you know, bond with them.
So it's a couple things that
I was going to say, Jay and I are up north, so we have the luxury of being able to weed out people like that. I know in the South, no, you know, you're just trying to be seen as a human at all. Yeah.
So I think for a lot of people, some of the consequences that have come up is like, number one, I feel like religion hits differently in our communities than it does necessarily in the majority community. And if you don't have those people around, you can't speak to that experience. So I felt like a lot of the conversations around history, around philosophy, around all these things, they felt like white conversations, for lack of a better way to put it. They just felt like conversations Black folks were not having. And so it felt like I can't come to my people with that because they don't even know who these people are and none of this makes sense to them. And they would dismiss, and we have to think about it too, like if you put William Lane Craig and Sean McDowell and stuff like that, Frank Turek in front of most Black people, I'm not even saying, because real talk, I think they do believe a lot of the same things and they have a lot of the same problems. But since they don't know who that is, they'll hear him saying crazy stuff and just be like, well, that's not me. I'm not like that. And then there's something really there for them, but they can't see themselves in what you're responding to. So they think there's nothing there for them. The other one is that I had this conversation with my dad, because my dad's a university administrator, and I had, he asked me what I thought the ultimate purpose of getting an education was. And I said, to me, it's like lifelong learning. And he said, for Black people, it's really about freedom. And that's really what, especially for like he was talking about like the first generation, like being a first generation Black person to do something like go to college or something like that. Like the expectation was you were supposed to use that and have some sort of social consciousness, some sort of civil rights consciousness to you, and you were really trying to get free. And when I feel like I see the atheist community be so white, especially dominated by white men, it makes me feel like y'all gave this to our people. Now we're still in shackles with it. And now here you are going to liberate yourself from it and then not include us in that liberation process. So it felt like we weren't given access to the tools to cast that off. And I feel like sometimes people don't think about that like for us, we really still are struggling for our freedom. And then the other thing I will say is that it does feel like a lot of the apologists, like you said, they will defend the social ills if you really get to them. They will defend biblical slavery and you know, the genocides, all the type of crazy stuff. And what happens is, I think I was talking to Derek about it, I think a lot of these apologists, they play a role in the evangelical white fascism that a lot of us are experiencing. And because a lot of the atheists that they actually engage with are white men, they don't go there or necessarily see that. And so then I think sometimes atheists are played into playing this game. Like, you're playing these philosophical, historical, these sort of pseudo intellectual games with these fascists, and you don't even realize what you've been drawn into, because there aren't voices like ours surrounding you, telling you, yo, that's a bad dude. He's not just wrong about this, or, you know, saying some BS about some old books. Like, he's part of this whole other problem that y'all apparently are not even noticing.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
I never, even when I first started doing this, I never liked the thought of like debating whether or not it's true. Regardless if it's true or not, it still is evil in and of itself, and it has been used to cause harm, literal harm. So it's like, whether you believe it or not, it's still evil. This is sick shit. Like, I don't know how we supposed to, because it's like, this is one of those things. I used to say this. This is not something we can agree to disagree on, because this life or death. This is evil versus good. This is like literal oppression versus freedom. You can't land on one side or the other. Not with this. This ain't, see, because people like to make religion this thing, and it's like, oh, you know, no harm, no foul. Everybody got one. Take it home, and you keep it to yourself. That sound good. Nobody does that. They tell us to do that. Keep it to
yourself.
And I did a whole video on this. The whole goal of these motherfucking religions is to spread. That's why we're here in the first place. The goal was to spread. Their number one mission, whether you talk bad about them or not, whether you cool with them or not, they still gonna want to spread. So you trying to play nice with them and be their friend and respect their disingenuous evil beliefs, it ain't gonna stop them. Because the reason why we are not religious is the reason why we can't disagree on this bullshit. This is some sick shit. It has been used to do like unthinkable violence, bloodshed, genocide. Like, you cannot brush this under the rug and say, I still find comfort in. That's disgusting. That's like, it's like you don't care. This is not about whether it's true or not. Do you care about us? Do you care about people? Are you a humanist or not? Because if you're a humanist, you can't support what has led to the demise of so many. It's like you wouldn't vouch for a mass shooter, would you? You wouldn't join a gang that you know do drive-bys on people's grandmama house, would you? Come on now. You wouldn't actively say, you know, the KKK got some good, you don't.
So how do you broach this topic with people of color? Because it seems like such a block that is like, God is love. God is good all the time, and all the time God is good, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, you hear that, and to me, I'm with you. It's laughable.
Oh my God, no.
But I find it really, really hard. Like, I tried to have a conversation with my family about how the religion is a lie, and also how there's so much evil in it, and they still went to that was what informed their morality and what informed their ability to do right and wrong. And I'm just sitting here like, but we just reviewed the slavery, the genocide, the part where it tells a woman that she has to marry a rapist, and like they're still saying with a straight face that, you know, this is what guides their morality. So I find that to be just hard, man. Yeah, how do you do this, man?
Well, see, for me, because I never really, like, but before I started doing YouTube, I wasn't like savvy with all the arguments and stuff. Like it was, I was learning as I go, basically. But for me, I started off, I'm like, I just want people to care about themselves and their family. And if I'm thinking, well, if I can get you to care about your family, you wouldn't affiliate with things that have like harmed you and your folks. Like this is not like when we say ancestors, they be thinking we talking about 2,000 years ago. Motherfucker, this was like 60, 70 years. Like what? This is one lifespan ago. It's like 60 years. I'm trying to get them to like appeal to caring about us. Like you don't, it's not rocket science. Do you care about us or not? And if you do, you can't rock with this. This is like,
yeah, I find that. Maya, can you talk a little about this? Because you focus on trying to get them to be more humanist, right? And for me, I see the religion as being fundamentally anti-humanist. So it's a difficult appeal, but you managed to make that plea somehow.
Well, yeah, I mean, so my go-to is to try to get people to think critically. And I think that it's an easier push. Once you can get people to thinking critically, I think it's easier to get them out of religion. Because right now we have people thinking that creationism and evolution are, you know, just different opinions.
Yes, literally, yes.
You know, and we could go on and on, you know, about, you know, how old the Earth is, or just science in general.
Vaccines or whatever. Yeah.
all of that, yeah. So they have a fundamental inability to understand what the difference between fact and truth. And so, yeah, that is, I mean, I don't know how you get them out of religion with that being true. So my goal is to get them to understand facts. And how do you determine truth from your pastor's opinion?
Sure.
You know, and I don't know, whenever I think about like, okay, I have a problem here. How do I get out of the problem? I start dissecting it. What are the issues? Because I mean, we're walking up to people and saying, okay, well, God is made up. You're wrong. Okay, you got to stop there, right? Where are they coming from? They're not just a bad person who wants genocide. And maybe they are, you know, they're billionaires are a thing. But on the other hand, most people, the 99%, want good things, and there's just a disagreement about how to get there, what that looks like. You know, if most people want livable wages, most people want, you know, to buy a house, most people, you know, want to have a family, most people want abortions to be legal. Like, okay, most people, 60% of Americans can agree on all things, right? Or at least 60% of the issues. Where's the breakdown? And that's really, and it's different for each issue, and it's different for each person. And that's why I'm like, well, it can't just be religion, because when I'm looking at it, religion is a skirt that they're hiding behind. I don't have to think about fact from fiction, because I have a God who, you know, it stands above you, and he gives me the right to not think about this. And as long as that God is true, I don't have to think. And I know that's where you're getting tripped up, Jay. It's like, well, okay, let's bring the God down. They don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be great. I mean, but like, we got to give them the tools to get, once we can get the tools, it'll be easier. But I'm spinning. But yeah, that's where I'm at since you asked.
Yeah. I mean, it's like they like what Maya's saying, they don't know how to do that. They like Jesus is their identity. This is them.
Yes.
It ain't there is no sense of like community or self. It's just I identify with Jesus. So you telling me Jesus not real is like telling me like, damn, like, am I not real or something?
I told
exactly. It is. That is exactly what it is.
Like you're disrespecting me. They identify.
Yes.
Like the religion is their identity. So if you bring their religion down, you're disrespecting them personally.
Yes.
So how do you get them to care more about themselves than what they think is their like? It's like
their whole self. Yeah.
It's deeper than them. It's deeper than
and that's why my goal is like, okay, well, can we agree on facts that we should believe in facts over opinion? If you get them there, then we can then decide, okay, how do you determine facts from opinion? Because I was one of those Christians that thought, oh, well, abortion is immoral, so we can't believe. But like when I actually saw the stats, and I'm like, I'm still pro-life, but my pro-life stance takes me politically to be pro-choice, because we save more lives when abortion is legal.
Yes.
So I mean, when you're truly committed to facts, it's easy, but it's how do you get that person there?
And being pro-choice is not like being, I just want everybody to get abortions. I don't know why they think that's how we think. It's like
we're told to think that. We're told to think that.
Kids.
Yeah.
Anybody say they want it, they're gonna keep I'm not gonna get mad and say, no, get up. It's like and
the pro-choice people are the one who want children to have food all day, even at school, who want children to be guaranteed Medicare, who want children to be guaranteed a house, like parents with a living wage who can have enough money to not only support their children, but also stay home and nurture them mentally, so that they can be good citizens. Like that's all the pro-choice side. They won't understand that the pro-life side is harming children because they're told that God is love and God couldn't possibly, but they won't look at the facts. And this is the issue. They're being told, no, just look at this book. God gave us this book. This is all we have to look at. There's no reason to look at the stats from every major medical foundation saying that, no, this is the proper way to, ensure life at all stages.
No, this is tough. This is tough because I don't, I try, I think one of the common things that I think Christians value is the truth and being honest. But I think they associate the truth as being synonymous with biblical truth. And so it's really hard because I'm trying to convey, how do you convey to somebody that as soon as you become more loyal to the group, to the identity, even to God, you put that before the truth, right? The thing I want to always tell like my family is like, when you become more loyal to this group or to this religion than anything else, then you're putting that before the truth. You're putting that before loving your neighbor. You're putting that before, and then wouldn't you know, turns out these people are lying to you and they are getting you to go along with things you wouldn't otherwise go along with, and they are manipulating you and taking advantage of you. It's part of it is I think it's really cognitively uncomfortable for people to admit to themselves that they could have been wrong about all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it is them. And again, you have to remember, oh man, Jay, I don't know if you remember this, but there's a scientist that was studying groupthink, and he was trying to like just strip it down to its bare elements and figure out where it is. And he found out that it didn't matter. Just the fact that you could assign anyone, like, I mean, just something stupid like these people have blue credit cards and these people have red credit cards, and or that's kind of too political. Let's say yellow and gold or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And like even that, like they were, if they knew that somebody else was in the gold credit card group and they had a gold credit card, they were more likely to help them get a loan, to help them, with yard work, whatever it is. They were more likely to do that, even on that very superficial level that they were not brought up with. This is innate in us to want to gravitate. Like groupthink is innate. We're fighting evolution. We're fighting our brains, and we're fighting ourselves because, as Bar said, they're giving religion or God the justification. You're fighting them and themselves. You're saying that your morals aren't good enough. Try mine. That's all they're hearing. And then you're saying, well, how do I get you out of that? How do I get you to give up what you value and take up what I value? That's a great fucking question, my friend. And Nazis have been trying to figure that out for years, decades, centuries.
Yeah.
So my thing lately is not to fight evolution, is to actually see, this is where I come down on social consequences, because I do believe it's tribalism. And I do got to thank my current partner, because part of what I think she really helped me with, because she comes from a tribal culture, is that like y'all over here, y'all associate tribalism equals bad, where we are like, your tribe is your people, your heritage, your history, your culture, your traditions. Like y'all be over here disrespecting tribalism to an extent. But
well, I mean, because we've made it toxic.
Yeah, but
it hasn't always been.
But part of what I realize is that, like, saying, like, I understand it to an extent, because in my family, for instance, the way we was brought up, that's what Christianity really is. At the end of the day, it really is, we're a Christian tribe. This is who we are. This is what we were taught. This is how we identify. This explains so much about us. And so it's really, they're afraid to leave their tribe. And I think part of where we fail is, and this is just my stance on thing, we have to make them more afraid of the consequences of not leaving that tribe. And that, to me, requires a certain amount of, like, when you really go, like, the best example I could think of is recently, like, the Trump people. When people voted for Trump and certain people in their family found out, and they were like, yeah, we're getting a divorce. Yeah, sorry, you're not invited to Thanksgiving. Shame. Like grandma's not letting you come over for Thanksgiving. I know for so many of us, we're really uncomfortable with the idea of those type of social consequences. And I do think in many cases, they probably need to be the last resort. But I think we're in last resort territory, because I just think at the end of the day, that's what we're up against. And to me,
and you're an evolutionary biologist, right?
Yeah.
You should know this. Like, people don't leave the tribe. It is always a last resort. You can ask any therapist that. It is always a last resort. It is one of the hardest things to do. There are therapists, just because I will have to work with and hire a therapist, and they like to vent. I mean, there are like toxic parents out there, and they're just like, I know I could, they cut their mom off, and I keep them for a year max. They keep their mom in their life, and this goes on indefinitely. Like, it is so hard to get people away from their tribe, which is why I like to figure out, you have to figure out what they value. Why are they there? Mm-hmm. When you unravel that, like, for me, it would have been the fear of hell. Like, I was dedicated to the truth, but I was willing to do a lot to not burn forever, like, but for other people, it's just like, well, there's a lot of, what do you call it? Christian, not nihilist, but,
There's a lot of Christian nihilists. I
well, yes,
think
there
that's a
are. Yes,
thing.
there are. But the ones that don't believe in hell, there's a lot. There actually are a lot of
Oh,
Christians
the
that believe separate
annihilationists.
annihilationists. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Close. It's
I mean,
close.
yeah, similar. But I mean, yeah, the annihilationists, they don't have
Yeah.
the fear of hell over their head. So what's keeping them there? It's going to be different. So, I think, or there's like I listened to, there's that Mormon lady that all the Mormons hate, Alyssa Grenfell, and she's always talking about to people who came out of their churches, and it's a lot of what they say is, this is all I knew, like,
Mhm.
and I was taught to fear anything that was not part of our group. I didn't, if I didn't know you, I wouldn't trust you, and I wasn't gonna, and I think a lot of people have that too. So, and it's just for everybody, it's a little different. And it's hard to say, okay, I mean, it's impossible to say, hey, here's this one pill, it'll snap them out like waking them, shaking them out from a dream. Like, it's not there.
No, well, I guess what I'm getting at for a lot of people, especially when you're dealing with like the more ardent believers, I just think you really have to, first off, I don't think everybody is trying to end religion or get people out of religion. Some people have very different goals. But I think for people like me, who that is one of the goals, you just have to be realistic about what you're up against. And when you're dealing with such deeply tribal behavior, you sometimes have to realize, or at least from my perspective, that a person is in a cycle of feedback. And you have to disrupt that and change that. Like, it might be uncomfortable, might be easy. Like, there's certain things I sit down with my therapist and talk about, and we say there's a difference between depression or, you just being in your head, being upset about something, versus you have to deal with a really uncomfortable, difficult situation that might come with the gamut of uncomfortable emotions. But at the end of the day, it's just something you really just have to do, right? And there isn't gonna be an easy way. And so I think when you're up against tribalism, what a lot of us are doing is, I think we're in a space where we're like, let's debunk some philosophy. Now, you ain't going to debunk philosophy and chitter chatter people out of their tribe, because those bonds are too strong. Like, it's gonna take something. Because that's just what I've been thinking a lot about, the futility of it. Go ahead.
You're not going to get anybody out in a conversation. It's going to take planting seeds. And so, yeah, you are going to chitter chat. That's literally what it's going to look like, is you planting a seed, Bar planting a seed, Maya planting a seed, Crystal planting a seed. Like, I mean, the fastest I saw anybody, well, I don't know, I guess me and Bar. Because
mine was the same day. Like,
I died, man.
I
I had huge, my cognitive dissonance. I got ripped out of religion, and I was suicidal, like that. I don't
really
wish anybody. Yeah, it was bad. Like, when you're talking about, like, when someone like is just jolted, and again, I know you know this. Like, the brain, a lot of what we're fighting is the brain putting that protection on it. There's a reason people don't just leave long-held beliefs like that. The brain is protecting you, because when somebody was ripped the way I was, it is normal for them to go through that. Is the sky even blue? Who am I? Like, my whole foundation was ripped. I wanted to die. I am not kidding. And I'm sorry, I hope that doesn't get the channel demonetized. But then I didn't want, because I didn't want to be in this plane where if Jesus isn't real, then who's pulling the strings? Where am I? I don't know that. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I would trust it. I want out. That's where I was. And then I didn't want to get out, because I'm like, holy crap, where am I going? And so it was just this, like, I don't know, this really weird thing that I went through for a solid year, while my brain was trying to make sense with what's what. And like, normally, when you get like the Derek Lamberts or the what do you call it, Dan, Objectively Dan's, where they're processing it fairly quickly. And I think a year is pretty quick. But they got to stay in their comfort zone while they processed it, while I was just like in limbo, trying to make sense. Um, like, I don't know, it's like somebody had thrown me from a high building and I was trying to like walk around in midair, without any sense of solid ground. I didn't even know where to start. It was crazy. So like, and what I went through is what the brain protects most people from going through. And I don't know why I went through that. I don't know why I didn't start to unravel. I didn't start to why it just looked like, why it just looked like that. I know I'm not the only one, but most people just won't go there. And I've seen people kind of get thrown there and then go running back into the house. Like, no, that I didn't just see that wasn't real. Jesus is real. Like I'm going to cling to God. It's freaking scary.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. That's what I feel like everybody. That's what I feel like so many people in my life are doing, and it does. I'm losing my patience with it, to be honest, because I feel like they don't even realize the extent to which it has been programmed into them as a defense mechanism. It is literally, don't tell me the truth because it will traumatize me. And even though you might say you have the best of intentions, you're a really bad person if you traumatize me and I don't want to be traumatized. So it's like, that's real.
Yeah, that's how that goes. But,
well, not,
I mean, I understand you have the best intentions at heart, but I mean, people are going to self-protect.
It's like teaching, like you have some really difficult conversations, and you're always having conversations early on with students because you want them to intervene so that they get themselves straight before it's too late, right? But there comes a time in the semester where students start talking to you about, I need a B in this class to stay in my program, and you're looking at their exam grades so far and you're like, I don't know what to tell you, because you've put yourself in a situation where, you're going to have to be damn near perfect the rest of the semester for that to even be a possibility. And then it gets to another point where it's just not possible. And then, of course, you get to the end of the semester and there's kids who there's nothing I can do to help you pass this class at this point. There's nothing I can do to keep you in this program at this point. And you do sit there and have this conversation with students where it's like, I'm really sorry, this is the best I can do for you. And that they're leaving your office crying, devastated, because it really is over. Like, it's really like you really failed, like you're really gonna get kicked out of your program. And it's just and so there is part of me as an educator that recognizes, man, there's some of these lessons in life that are on the other side of that feeling you talked about, Maya. And I just wonder how much can we protect people from that as we go through the process, because I think we try as much as we can, and then it's hard for those of us that are like, man, it's sorry, that Band-Aid just got to come off.
Nah.
Yeah, Bar, you go, because me and Jay argue about this all the time.
Yeah, we always have this conversation.
So the way I think about this is like, I always say to myself, like, we didn't reason ourselves into this. We didn't use logic, reason, critical thinking, and like, we didn't make a philosophical argument to get into this club. That ain't how we got into this club. This is like, you've been conquered and oppressed and forced into this box, and it just so happens that now we identify with the box that we were forced in. But it's like, I don't know, because I mean, anytime, and I was just thinking this when y'all was just talking, it's like to try to have a honest conversation about this with Black people that are Christian, that identify with Jesus Christ, is 100% disrespect.
Oh yeah,
You
we're
can't
talking about black
even
people.
Yeah.
like.
That's
And
it.
I ain't even talking about. I'm not even talking about like trying to debate them. I'm not talking about trying to like
You can't
ridicule
even
them.
bring it up.
I'm like,
Can't
hey,
even bring it up.
on TTT, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had read this scripture in the Bible, like, you know, this don't make huh? It's like, damn, I can't even. We can't talk. We can't even
No.
talk about it.
Oh, Jay.
So it's
No.
so it's like it's dogma.
Yeah.
This is
What
believe without question. I don't know how to like. How do you reason someone out of literal like?
what killed me, Bar, was I realized I come from a family on
Different.
my mom's side, generations of ministers. Generations. I mean, preach every Sunday. Run the church, okay? Then my mom, everybody in my family is either preacher or worship leader. So I grew up, you know, my mom was recording albums, gospel albums. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing the sound and stuff. Then I went to Catholic school. We had theology, like an actual class. Like you go to math, theology, English,
Yep.
right? So it's all of this religion in my life. And I realized my family has never sat around a table, not one time, and actually talked about what their religious beliefs are. I know my mother has gone her entire 60 plus, whatever, almost 70-year life, and has never talked to her parents, not one time, about what they actually believe. It's all just the indoctrination, the church, you go, you do, you go, you do, you believe, you identify, right? But you never really, you know what I'm saying? And I realize that because of this community, we get out here, we in this space, and I'm like, my family they never even talk about what they believe. Y'all are sitting here deconstructing the virgin birth. I don't even know who in my family believes that story. I don't know who in my family believes in a literal Noah's Ark and all of that versus who thinks it's a metaphor versus, because like you said, you don't even bring it up. You don't even have that conversation. You don't dare.
My family just took me to school. We believe what the Pope believes.
Yeah, you believe that. I mean, honestly, that's one way to handle it, right?
That's what we did. I'm sorry I cut you off.
Dang, that's deep. Because they like, I'm just thinking like, man, nobody sits and talks about this.
They never talk about it. That's what's crazy. They never talk about what they actually believe.
But this is what we like. This is being black to us.
Yeah, and you never even
don't you know? I don't know if this happened to y'all, and I think I said this to you before, Jake. But like, my aunt, and we loved going over her house because you know, auntie in them house fire. They just got everything and all type of games and toys and big rooms and shit. We ain't know about that. We shared a room. Don't you know these motherfuckers made a prerequisite? You can't come over and spend time with your family unless you're willing to get up and go to church on Sunday. That is just like,
wow.
Oh, that's like a family rule. Like, don't even come by on Saturday if you're not gonna.
Night if you ain't going to church on Sunday.
Wow.
And then I know it's like you don't think about it like that deep, but when it's like when you really like, they literally meant that shit. Like, damn.
They meant it. Yeah, they mean it. They mean it for real, and they just see it as this is who we are. This is what we do. This is how, you know, it should be. I told.
That was different. I mean, again, we were up north, so up north.
This the Bible Belt.
No, I know you're in the South, so things are a little different. In the North, your religion is a little more personal. It's family. Every family is different, obviously, but like I remember growing up, and there was a lot of people whose houses I couldn't spend the night with because we have to go to church on Saturday or Sunday morning, and like trying to get everybody together to make it to service, which is fairly early. Like we can't get you all together and back to your house, so we're just going to say you can spend the night Friday. Period. Saturdays are not for. You come over Saturday, but not over the night.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of friends like that, but unless you were part of the same church, like that's how families would do it because it was considered rude, even within families. Like if a family, like we were Catholic, most of our family, like my mom's side at least, was Baptists or whatever. None of them go to church now. Well, the CME Christians. Yeah, I mean, and families would do the same thing. It's just religion was personal, and you didn't take it upon yourself to, especially with kids. Like, you know, the parents are supposed to indoctrinate the kids. So you would take them to their church so that they could learn their morals.
Yeah.
And, you know, a church is a church is a church. So it didn't matter what church you sent the kid to, just, you know, as long as they believed in Jesus.
Yeah, I think that was it. Like you just had to believe in Jesus. So one thing I did get in the North is, I tried to explain this to my mom, like the whole, like, a good black man is serious about his relationship with the Lord. And I said, you don't know, but that killed me, because I saw you dismiss men from your life because they were not godly. And then I'm happy that I told her, like, I'm really happy that you and your husband believe the same thing and that y'all are happy. But you sent a very clear message to me that was his number one qualification, right? That he was a godly man. He was here. And I said, as your son, yeah, that sends a message to me that, like, a man like me is really not. Nah, you can't be unequally yoked. You don't want to be with somebody like that. So that's part of what I deal with sometimes in this community. Is I'm dealing with, like, my people don't even think you could be a good person and be like me.
That's where I was going with this.
I ain't got time to be sitting up here talking about some 16th century philosophers and what they thought about theories. Like, I really don't have the time. Like, it's very frustrating.
To us, getting your life right is going to church and, like, establishing a relationship with Jesus Christ is our idea, whether you Christian or not. That is what we think. Even the people that say, like, I'm spiritual and not religious, man, them folks still be going to church. Like, people, I see people who don't really worship and praise like that. When things when the going get rough, they take that to church.
We know, I mean, if we keep it real, you know, some thugs that'll be like, only God could judge me, tatted on me, just or whatever.
Yeah.
My brother.
No, but what do you call it, Jay? I gotta be the same for you. Like, when somebody says, I'm gonna get my life right, all you heard is, I'm gonna start going to church on the church.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And then like, I was saying this the other day on TikTok Live, we put flavor in this shit. I'd be lying to you if I say, like, we got a natural rhythm when we walk and talk and sing and jive. Whatever we do is fine because we just got that flavor. Cause, like, man, sometimes, like, man, you know, I done been to like the white church, and I done been to black church. And I'm gonna tell you something, like, man, look, the pastors, they get up there, get the speaking. It's like it do something to you. Even when I went to church and I went to religion, like, man, like, dude still got a powerful voice, and, like, he still, like, you know, them words,
charismatic.
You know, that's we fight with the charisma.
Oh yeah,
we fight with it. It's like, man, we've made this mythology our own. This mythology has become our history, and we put our own spin on it. So now you can't tell us this ain't us now.
Well, yeah, I mean, and it's interesting.
Can't tell me my God ain't real, Maya.
I would never do that.
Man.
Well, you know, I'm HR. I'm not allowed to do that. But what I mean, oh yeah, you were talking about culture. Well, I was going to go into culture. I love Black culture. And it's one of the things that, even though it is different somewhat, like slightly across cities, it is also very strong, very similar, like, you know, with the AAV and the style of dress and the slang's also really localized too. But it's a when people think of, like, we have an African American culture in the US. White culture varies widely from region to region, to the point where people, when people think of America, they can't think of a culture. But with the actually, I would say with most groups of color, there's still an Americanized culture. And then with the Black community, we had to create our own, just because we've been redlined and sidelined and pushed aside. And
Yeah, it's crazy. We had to create our own Christianity because they didn't really want to go to church with us.
That's what I was saying. So technically, that's what I was just saying. Like, you can't tell them that being Christian ain't being Black when we done created our own spinoff of this.
our own Christianity. Yeah. And a lot of, like Jay said, he was, and a lot of people, a lot of the non-Black people here too. My heart goes out to them, especially in the South. I know that Christianity has traumatized them significantly. I hear you, but like in the North, it's different. Like I really do think a lot of people are alive right now because like there were Black people that believed in Jesus. When they talk about, like, back to what you're saying, like when they're saying, I'm going to get my life right, like it really is that. And that, I call it a Jesus crutch when you're trying to reestablish your morals. Up north, I can't speak to down south.
So for me, it was a little different because I'm from up north, but you messing with Pentecostals and stuff like that. It gets, I would consider them religious extremists and fundamentalists. So it's, it gets pretty intense. But yeah, the thing that I also find to be frustrating is, really, I hate to say this, but it intersects with the fact that we're not an educated people.
Right. Yeah.
The fact that we're not literate in so many communities helps explain why we're not reading the Bible like that, and why therefore we're not into the apologetics and the saint this said this about all of that. So it's hard to see that and know that that's part of what's going on. And then the other thing is, it's really hard and the personalization of Christianity incredibly frustrating. I got this with my family where it's, they basically, it allows them to dissociate from all the problems. Mm-hmm. So you start talking about what's wrong with the religion and what's wrong with the church, and rather than that really being a challenge to them, they go, well, yeah, you're right about the religion and you're right about the church, but that's why I focus on my relationship with God. And I'm like, well, I don't know what to say, because they ain't really a book to define your relationship with God, right? And then you get into the ones, well, I'm not anti-LGBTQ. Well, I'm not this, I'm not that. And it's fine. They're nicer people, generally speaking, but it is very frustrating because it's like, what can I hold you to? Because a lot of them is, it's the cultural Christian where they're Jamie Foxx saying that, God blessed me with a stroke or whatever because I wasn't giving him enough glory. And then like that just passes. And there's no intention to be a Christian or live the Christian lifestyle or the chasteness. It's just literally, I endorse, Darante Lamar has been talking about this. Just literally, I endorse Christianity. And then for those of us that are trying to like move past this, there's really nothing for me. There's no claims really to even sink your teeth into.
Yeah, nah, you can't pin them to shit.
No, nothing.
You can't pin them to nothing. But like when you was talking, I was thinking like, man, it's so bad to the point where like people spend the whole year rapping about violence and shaking ass and unaliving and doing all this, and then they at the end of the year they win an award. They win an award for rapping about
all of that, yeah.
all of that, and they say, "Man, I just want to first thank God." And nobody I'm talking about the crowd goes. What? I'm like, this nigga was just talking about shooting people. The song was 5 minutes long in every verse. And listen, and I think I can speak to this because as a rapper now, I know how sometimes it might take me a week to write that song. That means that person sat on that verse and pondered on it and came back and added more words about shooting somebody. And he said, "Thank God, that was premeditated sin."
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
The black crowd go crazy. I was like, so y'all don't have no problem with this at all. None. You can't pin him.
Well, I mean, if God doesn't have a problem with it, and
that is true.
Surely he is blessed because God blesses people with money.
Yes.
I'm trying to think like, when it comes to like a religion, how would we treat somebody that's like got some other effed up stuff that they accept? Like when we approach them about all these other things, we punch them. We go straight for the head. If we find out you think it's okay to like jack old ladies for their purses and push them in the street, man, we gonna come get you. Anybody gonna try to? Ain't no respect in none of that. People gonna come get you. It's just like with religion, you just like everybody just tiptoe around where they were indoctrinated. So we gotta try to understand, man. Fuck that.
So that's what's difficult for me is that one, it's the like, look, when you see the difference between right and wrong, at some point you just put what's right out there, and you got to let the chips fall where they may. And then the other thing is that I be trying to remember these people are victims. So on one hand, I wanna just say whatever, fine, you go over there and believe and do what you want to do, but at the same time, I want to be like, I know you wouldn't believe that and be open to what you doing if these people they have you so, it's like. We're in a position where it's like I'll be trying to tell people, look, them people did a number on me. If I'm being honest, man, them people messed me up. But I worked through it, and now I could see the number they did on me, and I'm trying to work my way out of it. And then I'm looking at all these people, and I'm like, man, they did a number on you.
Worse.
But you still, they still doing a number on you.
They're like,
This is a real conflict because at this point they have Stockholm syndrome, right? Where they identify with their captors. So it's like you said, it's them now. And it's just, it's painful, yo. What
do you the exact definition of Stockholm syndrome? I just don't want this.
Oh, it's like when you identify with your captor's needs and desires, and the Coonan.
I'm trying to diagnose people here when I put out that disclaimer, but yeah. I mean, they're
bonding.
It's a little different because like it's so fighty, right? I am my own captor.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. They're at some point they're doing it to themselves, and it's crazy.
Go ahead, Bar.
I was gonna say, and like something Christianity, man, they do it so well. Is they like demonize anything outside of it. So all of our like traditions and customs and practices and any of that stuff that like is actually from where we come from. The black folks, no, that is witchcraft. That is demon. That's the devil. It's like this what you was doing before they brought you over here. The religion, I be saying it sometimes, man. This religion is damn near foolproof. If you stuck in, it's foolproof. You gotta care.
Yeah.
You gotta care more. You gotta care more than you believe. to get out of this one. That's what I say.
And it's
You got to
harder
care more than you believe.
it's harder to being in the South because you're oppressed. I'm not. I mean, the American South is almost like being in like a second world country, and I know that people like don't like using those terms.
Not for real. These people down here
everybody knows what I'm talking about, so let me just roll with it. I mean, you've been stripped of so many opportunities, like the job opportunities, the healthcare, just the ability to just was it life for the pursuit, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Yeah.
It's like you've been cut off at the knees at the ability to attain those in any meaningful way. And so, I mean, I say all that to say, when we see people in other countries living similarly, these are also highly religious countries, right? When people feel desperate, they want something to cling to, people are seeking hope. And yeah, when you don't have that education, when you don't have that financial freedom, it is so easy to cling to a God.
Mm-hmm. But then the sad part is that perpetuates you not having things, right? Because then you become the Bible Belt. You become these deep red states that have the worst healthcare and the worst education. And at some point it's literally their own doing. Like these are states that are deeply Christian states. Everybody from the mailman to the dog catcher to the governor is a Bible thumping Christian, and nobody can read, and nobody has health care, and they're not getting good technical jobs because part of this thing devalues those things. Mm-hmm. So it's this perpetual cycle. And I think for me, I'm just trying to break the cycle. And at some point I'm like, I gotta be that person that's like, you gotta break a few eggs to make an omelet. Not everybody's gonna like me. Yeah. You know, my partner tells me I'm perfect. I tell her all the time, trust me, I have real enemies. I have real enemies. I say, trust me, babe, I have real enemies.
I don't know if Jer's still in the what you call it, but she told me yesterday that Tim Bob called me a bitch, and she's like, "I'm sorry I didn't catch it." I'm like, "I didn't catch it either, but thank you. I'm having a great day now." I was like,
yeah, right.
My greatest. It is. I feel like I was born for a reason when I'm pissing off bigots. It's just
Shundeke. They don't ask you. They don't ask you in the South. They don't ask you what you believe. They ask you what church you go to.
Well, okay, so that's interesting that came up, because what I was gonna say is when I was religious, before I even really understood atheists or I met them, that's how I would talk to people. You would meet somebody and you might ask, what religion are you, or what do you believe, or something like that, right? And it assumes that you have a religion, or it assumes that you have a belief. But then when you're in the South, it's to the point, what church do you go to? Because the assumption is not only do you believe, but you're also a Christian, and now it's just a matter of, are you First Baptist or Second Presbyterian?
Right. What the pastor talking about over there at the Reverend Earl Baptist Church on Sycamore View, man, you got a good sermon. Come on over. They just ask you what church you go to. Because it's automatically assumed that you are Christian, or you better be. You know, you get. I got fired from a job, man.
I was telling Jay.
Yeah, tell the story. I didn't know this. Tell the story.
Man, I was doing security, and I had listen, this was right when I started the YouTube channel, because if you go to my old videos, I would be wearing my uniform because I was recording my videos on my break.
Okay.
I didn't eat lunch. It was time where I didn't eat lunch on my break. I would go to the car, put the phone in the steering wheel, press the button, and just record on my breaks and stuff. And so what happened was, you know, you got to make a new email address for the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And I'm new to this now. So at the end of my shift, when we shut the building down, I was doing security. We shut the building down. We have to send an email to our supervisor and like let him know what you know.
What's what? Yeah.
And it was one night I was sleeping tired, and I switch emails based on what I'm doing. Like if I'm not on my YouTube stick right now,
yeah, then you other email.
Man, I done sent the email, took the pictures and all that stuff. Black Atheist Rants logo and the name popped up on his damn email address, and he was a pastor.
Oh my goodness!
And he now listen now this was during I started the YouTube channel during COVID, so like his wife was my cosmetology teacher in high school, and so she the one that got me the job. And she thinking I'm still this good Christian boy, and so wow. So, so like they would do their like church online. They would broadcast it on Sunday.
Yes.
And she would send them to me, and I'm telling her like, yeah, I'm gonna watch it. So when the pastor found out through the email, because he read the name, looked me up, everything, he found out I guess I wasn't who I said I was, because I didn't lie, but nobody asked me.
But you ain't, yeah.
She was like, "They gonna send me this," and I'm still seeking answers. I'm just not gonna watch it. I want to hear what they had to say. I was more kind of interested in sermons and stuff when I became an atheist.
Right.
Looking in, just trying to.
Yeah. No, I've been there too. Yeah.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't watching them. I was watching them. I just was taking notes.
On the other side, yeah.
It's like, nigga, this is ammunition. and I guess he probably watched some videos and felt like, did this man get this from us? So yeah, he blackballed me. They suspended me for 2 weeks for some. I mean, they waited till I ain't gonna lie, you mess up, players fuck up. He waited till he could find anything to suspend me for.
Wow.
Be late one day or something, whatever. They suspended me for 2 weeks, and when I came back, they had replaced me, and that was like their way of firing me.
Wow.
Like they kind of blackballed me, got me out, made some false stuff about me, saying I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. Got some people that they know, he a pastor. I'm sure the people that worked there probably went to his church or something. People say I wasn't where I'm supposed to be, when I'm like, I can't walk off and make a look right. I'm patrolling the bit, so. Suspended me, come back.
Wow.
They had already replaced me, and it was like that. And I went like a whole month. And that actually kind of made me homeless a little bit, because I was off for 2 weeks. And when I came back, I was fired. So I had to spend like 3 weeks finding a job. That's like a month and some days. No
right,
work.
that you ain't had no work. Yeah. Wow.
I had to eat. I was through. Yeah.
Now that's the other thing where I feel like we still have not taken on the identity of a marginalized group. I look at it and I say, we don't have no representation in government. You tell somebody you're atheist, you just made yourself unelectable. They probably don't want you dating their daughters. Like, what will it take for atheists to say, this is not right? These people get in church on Sunday and talk all types of junk about us. But for some reason, like, you have to see, like, it's different. Like, it's a lot of black people don't see themselves, whatever. They got their proximity. They doing whatever. They think they're going to get a job in the Trump administration. They've cast off the shackles of oppression, But really, I just see so much where, they just be talking junk about us. But I don't think atheists really internalize that. I don't know what that's about.
We're doing it though. We building these platforms, and like I said last time, me, you, and Michael talked. Like, yeah, we don't know where this thing gonna go. These people can't say, like, do you know how hard it is to get 1,000 subscribers?
That's true.
300 views.
Yes, we do.
This shit is not some small shit. Like, this is huge. This is I was telling Jay and Michael, I'm like, man, this is some big shit. Together we got like almost 7,000. That's a lot of people. This is coming together. It's like we're doing it. We build the platforms, and get the resources, you get the name, you get the recognition. Now you start your own, and we doing it. We doing
it. I appreciate that, man. I definitely appreciate that.
If you ever watch one of my if you ever watch one of my live streams, the intro, and I is intentional, is a quote, and it says, "The day you stop talking about what matters is the day you die. You cease to exist." That is the end. That we doing it. Every time you press the red button, every time you go live on TikTok, every time I make a TikTok, every time you make a video, every time you do this, this is the answer.
Wow.
This is
live stream was 4 months ago. Can you do another one?
I know. I listen, believe it or not, I was telling Jay before you came in, I was supposed to start back like last week. I had got sick.
Yeah.
Today I am like 95%. The day before yesterday, I would not have been able to do this. I was on the floor. And yesterday, it got better. And today, it's like it just so happened that today is the day we were supposed to do this thing. But today, you see, I'm on point now. But I'm saying, like, the subscribers, the video, this stuff matters. People ain't subscribing just to subscribe. This stuff means something to people. And it's like, we doing the work. And I don't be wanting people to think like they got a small man, look here. It's hard to get subs.
Hard.
Especially when the algorithm ain't on your side. Especially when people do not do this. Black atheists, black atheists on YouTube for real. Now, I ain't gonna lie, they've been coming out the woodworks. And it might be, how you know it ain't because of you? How you know it ain't because of you?
That's true.
How you know it ain't because of Maya? How we know that? You know how many people done DM on Instagram? Like, man, look, you helping. Like, we doing this is the work.
This is the work. That's crazy. That's crazy to think about.
I ain't gonna lie. My next video, I'm about to go crazy. I ain't gonna lie. I've been resting. Y'all, today was for this live stream. Tomorrow, I'm going crazy. I'm telling y'all, we back at it. But I'm saying, like, that is
literally the work. Yeah.
Literally, like I look at what's his name? Alex O'Connor. He was Cosmic Skeptic at first.
Yeah.
And I was watching him when he was like a young boy. Now he doing episodes with Jordan Peterson. But it's crazy to see how far he came. He built his platform, but we gotta do the same shit. Get all the black atheists.
We gotta do the same thing and then not hang out with Jordan Peterson.
Well, you're right. Yeah.
No. Fuck no.
No, but yeah, I do want you to know I sent people to you. Jay was one of them.
And yeah, that's how I found your channel.
There's a couple of people in the chat here that are here.
Y'all have me on right now. Is the work. This is the work.
Y'all
are listen to me. If I knew
you have a voice that needs to be heard.
Hello. You hear me knocking? Let me in this. Like if I knew where y'all was at when I first came to this.
We weren't here.
Y'all weren't either?
We weren't here.
Nah.
But guess what though? This is the beautiful thing. Now all of the people that's coming now, they got somewhere to go. They got multiple channels, they got multiple insights, different types of videos. I know for a fact if they go to my old video, they're gonna be like, ain't no way, like this. That's some work you can get, and then you can get some of the karma video, but them car videos, you go get them too. But it's like this, you need all of it. You need a philosophical argument, you need a regular conversation, you need people just hanging out, chatting, talking, making jokes, having fun, and congregating and celebrating being free in the head, and you need to get cursed the fuck out. It's no right answer. All that is right. It's all of it. Go, here you go. When you go over somebody's house, they don't put they cook mac and cheese, chicken, green, and they just give you candy yams. No, they give you all that shit. You get you need all of it. All of it go together.
That's right.
This a trinity. All of this go together. You need to be talked to, you need to be reasoned with, and you need to be cursed the fuck out. Yeah.
No, I think that's cool because that's kind of what I feel a lot of times is I'm trying to find my voice. I'm trying to find what I could say or bring to the table that's different. And a lot of times it is just I don't necessarily disagree with what these people over here is saying. It's somebody already saying that really well. I'm trying to say this other thing over here that I just don't hear as many people.
There you go. We don't
saying,
we have enough people saying there's no evidence that Jesus exists. It's not gonna hurt the ministry if two people say, you know what, man, fuck all these religions. no, these religions don't deserve respect. That ain't gonna kill it. Like I was telling Michael, we need you to do exactly what you're doing. We need Jay to do exactly what he's doing, and we need me. Everybody has a lane, but we all on the same look. We all turn it right.
Like Avengers.
Like, come on now, assemble.
Yeah, everybody got a different superpower.
I'll be the Hulk. You could be the Captain America. He could be we a team. We fighting these motherfucking Thanos, and he trying to. That's the perfect analogy. Literally, oh my god, man. And I'll be like, bro, when I be seeing them little, you know, I'm gonna say the white channels. I don't care if they got all of them subscribers. You playing patty cake with these folks. You was on point at first. Now you became their friend, which now you can't say nothing bad no more. Now all of a sudden, the religion ain't evil to you no more. Now you understand why people believe, man, look, you don't forgot the way. You still got brothers and sisters that you supposed to be protesting for now. Don't forget where you kick your feet up at. Don't forget where your home at. We still protesting an injustice at the end of the day. That's what we doing. So that don't mean you can't have a regular conversation. That means, hey, look here. Make sure before they walk out that door, they know where you know where I'm at now. It's still like I gotta start back saying this because I used to say it and I don't know why I stopped saying it. I used to say, I'm not trying to change your beliefs. It's F your beliefs. And that's the message. I'm not trying to convert you to, man, look, I'm not trying to convert you to no atheist. What you believe in is wrong, and you wouldn't have it if somebody didn't get. Come on,
man. So all right, so when you come back, tell us how you've been feeling. Like, how have you feel about recent events?
Yeah,
and just has anything shifted in what you gonna bring to the channel from the past?
Yeah, because I would like to get into like. I think what you said it best when we was talking to Michael. You was like, I don't think a conversation with these people is like fruitful. They dishonest. They trying to sell something and they got a script. But now I react to you and show the, you know, if I put your name in the title, this thing get clicks and views.
Yeah.
You don't gotta be there for me to use your name and likeness. I can still put your face on the thumbnail and get some clicks now. But I'm gonna ridicule ridiculousness. That's what we gotta do. We got to.
So you might be responding to more stuff and really getting into what they saying and breaking it down.
Yeah. And just really like I really have my own lane, you know. But eventually I'm gonna have to like it's gonna have to come to a point where I'm speaking on like the historicity and stuff. But I can say for the most part, like my lane, my niche was really just common sense, getting people to care and locking in with like I'm just trying to speak in a way like people that ain't hip to all this stuff can understand it. Like, bro, like this is something I said, and I don't know. This easy to grasp. I would say things like, if me and my family come to your house, and I can't eat at your table if you're not gonna feed all of us. That's a perfect analogy. Everybody can understand that. That ain't rocket science, and I can break that down how it apply. And I would now I'm asking people on TikTok, would you join a gang that did a drive-by on your mama house, your grandmama house? And they like, hell no, I wouldn't join a gang that did a drive-by on my mama house. I'm like, well, okay, you now you said you wouldn't join a gang that did a drive-by on your grandmama house. Let me show you what that church did to your grandmama house. Now, this is not a literal drive-by, but
right.
You can see the
yeah.
somebody got burned at the stake, somebody got chopped up, somebody got mistreated, somebody got harmed physically. And that's your grandmama too. I ain't gonna call it your ancestor. No, that's your grandmama, great grandmama. How you feel about it? Man, that's okay then. So it's like if you can relate it to what you already understand, you can drop it off. This ain't rocket. No, like I asked somebody earlier. I said, look, I refuse to treat this shit like it's rocket science, and I refuse to try to treat this like you gotta have Einstein's stick, man. Nah, bro. Would you eat at somebody's house while your family stand outside and starving? No, I wouldn't. Okay, then. So you already have it in your head and you understand. All I'm telling you to do is use that same sense of human understanding and community. Use that and apply it to your religion. And if that don't break you, then it's not about nothing other than you just don't care about the people behind you. Just tell them that. And stand on. If you don't care about us, stand on that. That's all I want you to do. And it's like, well, I do care. Well, you're gonna have to drop that off then.
Man, it's I don't know what it is, but I find your message like inspiring because I find it's sometimes I get frustrated and I feel like I'm not being heard. But when I hear your stuff, I feel like that's what I'm trying to get at. What do you think that comes with? Do you think it's something different about being in the South in the way that religion hits you that makes you respond to it differently?
See, it's like I don't have because I know what. See, a lot of people, they be talking about this stuff, but they don't know what it's really like. I know what it's like to be literally praying to God, and your whole family sleeping in the car, and we still praying to God. We still most folks don't really know nothing about that. They just be saying it, but it's like I know what, like, I guess for lack of better term, I know what like inner city American suffering is like. I know what that's really like. We was getting dressed for school in the restrooms in elementary school. Like shit was hard and motherfuckers was still believing. So it's like when you come from where like it's like,
so most of us, we've only seen that on TV or in a movie.
Oh, that shit is real. You come home and the lights off, no food, and your mama work all day, and you ain't seen her all day because she at work before you go to school, and she at work when you get home. It's like, bruh.
And it still ain't enough.
So I ain't gonna say personal experience. It's just like I can relate. And I understand what's most folks think, oh, the Wi-Fi off, my mama took my phone. Nigga, please, you ain't suffering. Or you had a flat tire, you gotta get out and change the tire. No, motherfuckers real deal out here like done been through some stuff. It's like, man, look, how do I get people that care about this to see that if you care about this, you can't rock with that because that don't give a fuck about this. Because most people, if they knew me and they like right now, like if I needed some help, the same folks that would want to help me, I'm trying to show you that like
you're not really helping over here. So
man, look, it was the church that used to pick us up after school. Don't you know when they got their shit together, they packed up and moved and sold the building to a smaller, like this shit a business. Them people didn't get up, man. That folk got up out of there. Because they listen, and they was in a bad part of the city, one of the worst parts in the city. But that just go to show you religion can't save, man. Religion can't do shit. They couldn't fix the community. Well, they didn't fix the community. They couldn't fix the community. They couldn't help the community. They packed that shit up and left.
Damn. So I don't know if you know Mary J. Blige, but she talks about how when she performs, she really tries to take herself back to them painful places and then sing from there. She the only person I could stand to see at a concert, and she don't sing the note quite right because she be hurting. You be feeling it, and you be feeling it. And I feel like that's kind of what you doing is like harnessing the real life struggles and things you've seen in bringing that energy.
I just don't. I don't want people to be like suffering and thinking what caused it. Like I don't. That's not right. That's not. Man, that's not. Man, we were sleeping in them cars and shit. Man, that's not right, man. And all I'm thinking is like, at the time, I'm praising and worshiping my God faithfully. We is going to church Easter Sunday, broke as hell. Everybody dressed to the nines. How do we do that? It's not like I'm trying to like, bro, like you got to be, man. It's tough. It's tough.
Maya, what else you got for bar?
I want people to care about that stuff, man. This stuff matter.
It does.
Ain't no God in them trenches, man.
Bar. I love listening to Bar. I love listening to his stories.
I know I could have been a pastor on
it. It's you know, so Jay and I were raised middle class, right? And we were one of those Black kids that used to get teased a lot for trying to act white. And you know, so now we got them good jobs, solid health care. And I feel like a lot of times, like I live in Baltimore City. It shouldn't be that hard. Just, you know, but like I don't, I'm a director. I don't get to see that side of the Black community the way I used to. And again, I've always been middle class. But when I was younger, you know, what my dad called my roll dogs. You know, it's like the people I hang with, like you hung with the whole city, you know, so you went everywhere. Like I've been in Baltimore at like 3 a.m. and I felt comfortable on the West Side.
I don't even go to the listen to me.
But like, I mean, I'm not gonna be afraid of my own people, right? But I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's things you do, and there's things you act to not draw attention to yourself, and you just kind of know the rules and you go with it. I haven't done that in like 20 years. I feel like, you know, and I get out of touch. I don't know what's going on anymore. I know, you know, my world now is very much, you know, what's going on. Not even globally. Probably before Trump, I was more into globally. But just like the political landscape and like nationally what's happening, because I'm really concerned about the things that's going to affect the common man and what I need to be doing to like kind of notify people, and you know what I need to do on the ground level to help my neighbors not feel the brunt of it. But when you're focused on things like that, you don't get to live and breathe the day to day anymore either. And I feel like, you know, talking to you was just like, yeah, this is what I'm fighting for. I love to hear the stories. I love to feel the connection to, because I can see how it's easy for a congressman to kind of get pulled up in these loops of, you know, like this bird's eye view and forget who the real people are.
Yeah.
You're real people.
I don't even appreciate that. I can't. Well, it's not that I can't, and it's not that I won't. And it's not that I can't handle myself. I mean, I'm trained. I'm literally a police officer, so I'm not worried about nothing. But even I, like once it get dark and them street lights come, I'm in the crib. I don't go out. I don't play with the nighttime. I'm in Memphis. This is no joke. You get robbed and shot at the gas station, pumping. Man, look, I go to the gas station once a week.
If you don't, I don't know. In Baltimore, like, you should be fine as long as you don't have a car.
I go to the gas station once a week.
But hang on a sec, because that's something right there. Like it's tough to see a community so dependent on God when we don't have enough, so we robbing each other. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy.
That's how humans be. all humans, in that,
No, they do. They
we're
do. I'm
impoverished.
just saying that that's
Right, yeah.
that's the reality of poverty.
Yeah,
Like,
it's also where you have
I
most
could, I'm,
churches, right?
I got to do this video. I got to show people this because I don't think people understand. There's a like a 4-block radius. It's like a square. It's like 20 churches in a
wow.
like a 6-minute drive like this. It's like 20 churches. And in the same community as what you saying, where like people literally shooting and robbing each other at gas stations, and it's 20 churches
To the tune of the church bell going off.
Oh my
Mm.
God.
Mm.
Yeah.
Man, we got one Kroger over here, one Walmart over. It's more churches than places to get healthy food, healthy nutrition. You get more God than nutrition here.
Oh yeah, we
They're
have
gonna give you some lords and saviors. I ain't lying.
yeah, we have food deserts.
Yeah,
That is
Like,
crazy.
sure, man. And so
All right,
it's like,
y'all.
oh, that we
We get close. It's been almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
that was quick though, man. That's what I'm saying, man. You just let Bar go, and 2 hours later.
I'll be cooking now.
But look, y'all, make sure y'all subscribe to Black Atheist Rants. If you're not, you've been missing out. But PC dropped a few links for us in the chat. Thanks, PC. And we got a link down in the description. And I am at Pocket Locker 86. And of course, you can catch the lovely Maya Adkisson every Sunday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Yes, on Bad Science Sunday. This was so much fun. All right, y'all. Let me go ahead and mention, don't forget to check out the other shows on Skeptic Haven. Mondays, the Black Freethinkers, if you enjoyed this show. Thursdays, there's the Sunny Spot. Saturday, the Global Atheist and Women Atheists Unload. And Let's Talk on Sunday. I want to thank the channel members, Michael Bell, Jester, Robin Webster, Durati, Yahooligan, Manuel, Karen, Ember, Al Trucker, Kelly Laughlin, John O'Neill, IQ, D Murphy, Left-Handed Jedi, Gene Spliced, and Pete himself. And thank you, of course, to the wonderful patrons, Paul Cammish, Karen Butcher, Puck, Helen Greene, Logan Fisher, Amanda McLeod, Rion, Deneen Murphy, Dan D, Michael Wiseman, Sonny Shell, and Phil Calderone. Bar, thank you so much for joining us, man. We definitely have to have you back and do this again.
Sure,
and we look forward to you coming back on the channel. We're gonna be sub, turn on them notifications, and man, we looking forward to the music. Make sure when the music drops, y'all check it out and share it far and wide, because we really do need to build up our own cultural artifacts. So let's get this going. Look, man, we love y'all so much. Thanks so much for tuning in. Happy New Year to everybody, and we'll see you in 2 weeks right here on Black Freethinkers.